And we're back. No Stones podcast back before you. We got a lot of good content that we've gotten peeled up.
Pretty good.
And loaded in. We've had a little hiatus there. We had some stuff that was uploaded. We got a good bit of content that just got added that Joe got through doing and that we put together here in a short time. So excited to be back.
Glad to be back, man.
It's not really been that long though. We're pretty consistently on our bi-weeklies, I think. Now.
Yeah, I think we were doing pretty good for a while there, and then life started life, and then we had to get back on track.
Yeah, we're getting back there. Yeah, same thing happened with my diet. I went into hibernation mode too quickly. It's not winter yet, and I'm already.
Have you gotten back to running, man?
Yeah. So I took about I was adjusting to the lifing thing.
Yeah.
Many different various and sundry things happened. Career change. Well, not really career change, but job change. Yeah. And then some time allocation stuff and then some personal stuff. So it was about 3 weeks. I was doing like 2 or 3 days. And then one day I was like, bro, we got to get back into it.
Yeah.
And man, it was tough. I'm not going to lie to you.
But it's like I told you to stay consistent.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but of the last 14 days, we're 11 out of 14. So we're back in the groove. I've dropped a few lbs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting back in the diet.
Not as portly as before.
Yeah. Well, still portly. You know what I mean? But we're getting better. I'm feeling better. I think my pants are starting to be able to wear again, so I can wear multiple pairs of pants, not the same pair, to work every single day. So we're working in the right direction there. I digress.
Yeah. Sorry. I'll bad, y'all.
But it leads into what we're talking about, right? Okay, so one of the things that we talked about, I think, last a lecture, and then we talked about it last podcast that's now uploaded. You guys can check it out there. Was prayer life, and how I think that correlates and it goes in line with consistency. And when things break apart or your habits kind of break apart, prayer and things like that follow suit, which also I used to. We talked about it today. We were at church today. We had a great sermon today.
Great sermon.
By Ed Litton there, who looks like
the
grandfather from Jurassic Park.
My wife has been saying it for like the last month.
It's so funny.
It landed today.
We love you, Ed, so much. And I'm going to tell you, that is high regard, in my opinion.
It is. It is. That's a very smart man.
We're getting him a mosquito cane.
Yeah. That's his Christmas present.
It's got to happen. Letting you know, and a nice little Bahama Bob hat there.
Yeah.
But we go through the 5 solaces. We're gonna dig into those in more depth, I think, in the future here. We have more time to research studies. So we'll give you guys the most accurate, most poignant, most researched info that we can. But basically, the 5 are Scripture alone, grace alone, faith alone, Christ alone, God be the glory alone. We've gone through Scripture and grace in sermons, but today was faith alone.
Yeah.
I think the faith piece really plays into prayer a lot.
It does. It really strengthens your prayer life once you get your faith going, right? Once you actually land on where it's supposed to be. It was reversed for me. It was my prayer life led me to be more faithful.
Yeah.
And like I said the last time, that was because of my kids and my wife. Actually having a responsibility of something that I needed to say, hey, Lord, I need you for this. Yeah. And that's what brought me to actually start my prayer life up, which it encouraged me to be able to put my faith deeper into Christ than it was before. Now it's every morning before my feet hit the floor. Yeah. It's like when I sit up in the bed, a lot of people always say, hey, get down on your knees. And I'll confess, I don't get down on my knees. I don't get down on my knees. Yeah. But I do sit up on the side of the bed, and I think my wife is probably like, what's wrong with you? And I'm sitting there just with my head down, talking before I get out of the bed. Yeah. And once my feet hit the floor, I'm ready to rock. Yeah. I'm going after that.
Yeah, so I start the day off every day with prayer too. I usually rip my dog up, make him lay on his back and rub his belly while I pray. And that's the first thing I thank God for is that dog. Because I love him so much. But yeah, so for me, it's the same. So prayer definitely indulges the need and the focus on having faith. I think so. I wouldn't say I wouldn't lack faith, but I would lack attention to my faith.
Yes.
And that's what I was going to say is that all the tests we've been having recently, like personally, professionally, both of us have been going through multitudes of things. And that's the way life happens, I think, is it goes in those ebbs and flows, the seesaw effect, if you will. I used to tell people that the more extreme you were personality-wise, this would me be explaining away my crazy. Yeah. Is that the more fun you have, the more crazy stuff happens, right? So it's like the seesaw effect. But I believe that to be a little bit true, right? You try and get closer to fulcrum with faith and with prayer. But I'm going to tell you the thing that growing up, They used to say, when things are going good, remember Jesus, right? It's easy to forget God when things are going well.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
I am
When
too.
things are going well, man, I'm like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
When things are going bad, it's not even that I go, God doesn't exist, I lose my faith. What it is I go, I'm so mad and I don't want you to pay attention to what I'm about to do right now.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
I'm a little different. I am what I used to be. When things were going great,
Yeah.
I fell into the thought process of I don't need to go to church right now.
Yeah.
You know, but when things are going bad, it's like, man, I need to get there quick. I need to hurry up and get back in there. I've evened that out now.
Yeah.
It's more or less now of trying to be around other saints and being able to worship through the good times and the bad times.
100%.
But it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
It's like I said, at some point in time, it was like, oh man, I got this in the bag.
Yeah.
I don't need to go and do all of that no more. So yeah, different.
Yeah, well, that's why I need it so much too, because I got to fix my buffoonery,
Yes.
right? So that's my problem.
Yeah.
Is that I get real, like, it's almost like I excuse it away of like, man, things aren't going right or something's frustrated me or whatever. And it's not even that I'm mad at God necessarily, or I'm mad at the circumstance, or I'm going, I don't see you in this. It's me going, I don't want to see you in this.
Yeah.
And so I go and do a bunch of dumb stuff a lot. But I've been getting better at that.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, I'm going to tell you today, I'm not going to lie, I had social anxiety before. I was like getting ready for church, man. I was like, I don't know if I want to go today.
Really?
And I was like, no, you need to go. And I kept toying with this idea. I'm literally getting ready, and I'm toying with the concept of, do I really want to go?
Yeah.
And I knew I did, but also I was kind of still wanting to be pissed off.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I went and sought my faith and I sought spending time with others in a good way, I was going to have to put away the stupid stuff. And I think that's where I think faith really can align, and you start to see, this is where I've seen my spiritual faith grow as an adult, and as I've sought out more, more reading and more prayer, is that honestly, man, I think that's when I'm realizing, okay, I'm growing in this sucker. You know what I mean? If you're a young child, he says we are children. God, Jesus calls us children, right? And he says, but then Paul, is it Paul that says it? You throw away childish things.
Yeah.
That's when Paul says that, right? And so that's what it is. I think I'm finally realizing I'm casting some of that stuff away, man.
I get you. I've been in that situation before where it's like I'm trying to figure out, do I really want to go? And I always ask myself, what's your reason for not wanting to?
Exactly.
What good reason do you have for not going?
Yeah.
Other than just, man, I could just lay in, and football season is tough. Football season was tough for me. Because that was always an automatic answer. Hey, man.
There were games on.
There were games coming on today, man. And then I started thinking, and I'm like, so you putting football, like the little tap on your shoulder, so you putting football above me, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm like, then I'm cowering like, now I feel bad.
Right.
I need to hurry up and get there. Like I said, wasn't always like that. Football won a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
Football won a lot back in the day. Not so much anymore. And side note, I'm so glad we can get out of church at like 10 because now it's not a thing anymore.
The 9 a.m. service is a winner. I'm going to tell you.
It's a winner, bro.
Yeah.
It's like,
we were in and out of service by 10:30 today. I've already been home, hung out with Oscar again. He he grumbled at me again because I had to leave a second time. Perfect, but he got mad at me because I was there long enough. You know what I mean? So it's been.
But now that's a thing now. So now I don't have the
the
football thing is not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
There really is nothing. I told myself a long time ago I didn't want to work on Sundays because I wanted to be able to prioritize making sure that I got with other saints.
Yeah.
So that I could, and that's been able to increase my faith.
Yeah.
Just being around other saints and seeing the joy that they have of being around each other on Sunday morning, that's been a blessing for me. Everybody is so nice and so sweet and so kind and everything like that.
Yeah.
It makes you feel better.
But I've been pleasant, honestly, and it's so, please don't take this the wrong way, folks, but I've been pleasantly surprised with how much I've enjoyed returning to Redemption.
Yes.
So I was kind of skeptic at first. I was like, I just want to go to church, just go to a church. I trust somebody. Man, it really is a great circle of people.
It really is.
It really is. It's packed. I love to see that, but I agree with you. But now I think, man, I forget how refreshing it is to be in my faith. So when things are not going great, or when I'm not as consistent with my prayer life or my study time whatever it may be, and I start falling away and letting the distractions, the energy vampires kind of suck me in different directions, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that I did not, maybe I didn't have it before, now I have it, and that's what I love about it, is maybe I didn't understand it before, but now it's like when I return to the routine, I return to faith-based things, I start surrounding myself again and getting back in church. We're doing this consistently. We're talking about, because it forces us too, guys, to plan,
exactly.
to go like, all right, let's read about what we want to talk about. And it creates a study platform to grow closer to God. I now cherish that feeling more than I used to cherish going, what was the excuse? Well, I'm going to hang out too late on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm going to, I got something to do on Sunday instead. Like, whatever it may be, the things that used to be distractors that I would use as the excuse, now I go, those aren't as fun.
Yeah.
As listening. And I'm not a singer guy, you know. I am to 80s rock band music.
Yeah.
If you catch me when I got it on Rock Block on MTV at the house, okay. But you know, but just watching other people and being around, just hearing other people praise God, is a refreshing thing.
That's what it is for me.
And man, it's just a beautiful thing, man. And I think I always took it for granted. Maybe I just didn't have it before, and that's why I always say maybe I got saved a little later than I thought I did.
Yeah.
The refreshment that I get from going, man, this is what it's about, right? And it's finding that faith posture. And he said 4 things that I think were just so profound. Well, he said a bunch of stuff, but he talked about the woman touching the cloak.
That, you know what? That chokes me up every time, because it speaking of faith, do you know how strong she had to be thinking to be like, all I got to do is touch the hem of his garment?
Yeah, 100%.
If I could just touch that, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can, every time I think about that, I go back over my life and I be like, have I reached that point to where I have that much faith in what I say I believe in?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it makes you look into the mirror.
Yeah.
I used to use the phrase all the time, it takes a conscious effort.
Yeah.
It's a conscious effort for you to do some self-revelation of yourself. Where are you at right now? I still look at that and think to myself, man, am I there yet? Do I have that yet?
Yeah.
I can say sometimes I can say yes. And then depending on the way life is life, and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's when I know I'm starting to fall away.
Yeah.
But that's what, like you said, that's when I know, I got to get back into a connection with Christ, and I got to get back into the church because I feel myself drifting. Yeah. And you let all the things that's going on in the world and life, and like we always say, you let all that get in your way, and you let that grieve your spirit, you can be done. Yeah. I've seen people walk away from the faith like that. Oh,
100%. Man, you know what? This made me think of something. This just popped in my head while you were saying that. And it's because when you were talking about that, the falling away from faith, man, this is what popped in my head. I'm an angry person.
Me too.
And so that's, as I was trying to describe earlier, that's where my faith gets unaligned is not me going, I don't believe. It's me going, I don't care because I'm mad. And man, but when you're in faith, when you're in the Word, when you're surrounding yourself with people of faith, and you're soaking in the Word, you know, it's Corinthians right here. I'm so glad I found this so quickly. 1 Corinthians 13, you know, the love is patient, love is kind. Love does not envy, love does not boast. Here's the thing. It is not easily angered. Yeah. And that's one of the things, man, my Bible is completely just in shambles. I underline everything and write it all the time, right? I write little notes in the corners of this one. But not easily angered. That is but God is love. And so that's the thing, that the more God that you're just pumping into yourself, the less you're going to be easily. And I've noticed that about myself too. But then there's times my battle is I want to be angry.
Yeah, I feel like I have a righteous indignation about something.
Yes. Yeah. The self-righteousness is
that's
pouring
what
out.
It is too, man.
It's pouring out. Yeah, exactly.
Even if I do have a right to be mad, I mean, there are some things where you can say you got a right to be mad. Yeah. Hey, man, are you going to let that go on ahead and stretch out and go and last for like 3, 4, 5 days and just walk around like grumpy Smurf with your arms folded like, I hate it.
Well, see, dude, I'll passively aggressively play the anger game. That's where when I'm really pissed, that's when, because I'll be like, oh no, I'm not mad. Oh. Yeah, and one of my favorite quotes, man, Salvador Dali. I used to have a coffee cup. Salvador is looking out with his Dracula cape, and he's pointing, And it says, the difference between myself and a madman is I am not mad. And it's him looking all crazy into the camera. And I'm like, man, that's like my lifelong thing right there. But having the faith, man, it almost like I can now feel it's almost an embattlement of good, of good grace and evil intent, if that makes sense. And we all have it in us.
Perfect sense.
And that's a hard thing, man. And that's been my struggle here the past couple of weeks, to be honest with you. Just being pissed off all the time. And I shouldn't be. But then it's like, talking about the woman who went to be healed, it's also like at the pool, the healing pool. When Jesus, pool, it says, do you want to be healed? Yeah. And I think, man, sometimes like, it's not even that I don't have the faith to do it. It's just, I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Because you want to hold on to whatever it is that's ticking you off.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I said, the righteous indignation. How long are you going to let that, hold over you?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why it's so good to have somebody to hold you accountable and somebody to pour, like we were talking about with the prayer, somebody that you can talk to and share your pain with. That's a faithful person.
Yep.
I have a lot of friends who are not of the faith.
Yeah.
And I call myself, trying to talk to them a lot. It's not working, but I try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I used to find myself when I was angry about something, those would be the people that I would talk to. Yeah. And I would notice that those people would be the ones that would drag me away, kicking and screaming, and they would keep me madder longer than I needed to be mad.
Oh, 100%.
I needed to be with somebody who was actually of faith, who could be like, hey man, come and sit down.
Yeah.
You need to reel that in.
Yeah.
And then break it down to me from a scriptural standpoint of, even though you might have a right to be mad, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are? I saw this thing the other day. Oh, man. I saw this thing the other day. Gomer, one of the prophets. I think it was Gomer. But it was one of the prophets that God had him marry the prostitute.
Yeah.
And this woman just kept cheating on this dude and kept going back and forth. He actually had to go and buy her back out of prostitution.
Yeah.
And he was like, why? He finally asked God, like, why do you want me to be with this chick? I keep having to run her down, and I keep having to do all of this stuff, and she keeps going out there and she keeps prostituting herself with all these other guys. And God was like, well, the way you feel about her is the way I feel about mankind.
100%.
Because you guys are always you dealing with this with one person, and I got to deal with this with all of y'all. And it was such a humbling thing.
Yeah, he's used that same lesson with some of my exes.
Yeah. That's a low blow on yourself, man.
Hey, you know what I mean? Learning in every way you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take in all the lessons, I guess.
But it was like, man, this is what, every time we mess up and every time we screw up and every time we get mad and every time we hope, he take us back.
Yeah, 100%.
And it humbles you. It makes you be like, okay. And that's why you need somebody that can throw out something like that so you can reel yourself back in. Because like, who do I think I am?
Yeah. I think Pastor Man said it so good today too. He goes, why do you think God's not going to let you suffer? And I think I hear that a lot. I grew up in a church setting. I felt like, and it's the church I grew up in, which is weird to say that, but the old way of thinking was like, well, if you're in faith, everything's going to be good. That's very Judaic, right?
Yes,
it's very much, if something's wrong with you, it's because your faith's not right.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost the opposite.
Yeah, it's like Job's 3 friends was like, hey man, the reason what did you do wrong?
Yeah. But it's almost the opposite. It's almost like when things are you have to be tested. It's the same as working out, right? Same as running. We're talking about running earlier. Same thing. You have to be tested. You have to test your endurance by putting yourself into endurance challenges.
That's what it means, but to be refined in the fire.
100%.
That's what it means. You're going to go through it. Look, he said, hey, man, if they persecuted me, man, they go persecute you. It's not like if. Yeah. It's like when. It's coming. Yeah. So you got to be ready to deal with it when it comes. That's
what the demons that beat the crap out of those 19 dudes.
Yeah.
And they're like, I know Paul and I know Jesus, but I don't know you.
Don't know who you are.
That one guy whooped them all, right? And I'm like, man, sometimes you think I want them to know my name. And then there's also times I'm like, maybe I'll just take my lumps and get out of here and nobody will notice. You know what I mean? Like that's my bad, bro. Yeah, I'm running out the back door. That's a really tough thing though. But I think that's the constant battle of depthful faith. We have faith by believing, and the gift of how much faith you have and the measure of all that mess, man. That is some really like intergalactical string theory thought process of analysis. Nobody really knows.
Yeah.
But I think you can start to feel the gauge change. And it's understanding that. If you don't have that gauge, got a lot of other stuff we need to talk to you about. But it's the morality gauge, if you will. But that's where the faith aligns, I think, is the deeper, richer you get in faith and the more understanding the animosity goes away maybe of why is this happening to me? It's going, cool, how can you use, and that's where my prayers have shifted. Yeah. It used to be, a lot, Lord, get me out of this, right? I'm so sorry this happened or whatever, you know, please do
what did I do?
Never again, I promise, you know what I mean? And do it again next week. But I think like that's the glory of it is it's moved away with when your faith grows. I think your reliance on Him grows. Your reliance through adversity grows. Your reliance on adversity. I want to grow. I want to be put into hard situations. And now that's what I look at as I go, how can you use me today to be the best version of me to fulfill the mission? Yeah. Instead of how can you make my life easier?
Yeah, it's like we was talking about a couple of weeks ago. It's like I'm not going to pray for you to take me out, and I'm gonna pray for you to be with me while I'm going through this. Yeah. And what is it that you are trying to teach me in this moment, or what can I learn from this moment? Yeah. And I'm landing on it like that from here on out. Yeah. Because I mean, I've noticed that a lot of the things that and I didn't notice this at first, but a lot of the things that I've went through in my past has prepared me to be able to minister to somebody else who's going through it at that time. Absolutely. You know, and so now whenever I'm going through something, I always look at it like that. Don't get me wrong, I still get kind of ticked off every now and then because that's just human nature. Yeah. But you know, I can calm myself down, well, not calm myself down. I can lean on Christ. He can help calm me down. And then I can start seeing it from a different perspective of saying, okay, I know you're gonna get me through this. I'm just gonna have to take my time, calm myself down. And when I learned a lesson that I'm trying to get through in this, that was horrible English, but you know what I mean. I'll be able to help somebody.
Sounded fine to me.
Yeah. I'll be able to help somebody on the other side of this. So now I don't know if this is pride or not. So if somebody thinks this is pride, y'all let me know. I look for people now that going through things that I've been through, so that I can share something with them.
100%. Yeah.
You know.
No, I think it's the opposite of pride. That's humility because you're using your experience to go, I'm breaking my barrier down of things that maybe I want to hide away or I don't want to share, to use it as a growth. That's a hard thing to do, is just sharing that way.
I don't know. I guess it's hard. It's not hard for me
right,
anymore,
because you actually have an empathy for people.
Yeah.
Which is Christ-like, right? Yeah. So me, man, mine's a joy. I used to give false joy. I used to constantly be out all the time, still am. Job's what I do, right? People ask, what do I do for a living? I hang out with people and make them happy. That's literally what I do. And it's a lot more to it, but there's a lot of, whatever.
Sounds like a good job.
Yeah, we're not going to get to sell spreadsheets and forecasting projections and things of that nature, but they're there too. And the timeliness of it's not always convenient. But at the end of the day, I love what I do. I love the opportunity to be with people. But I used to have a false joy that drove it. And a false, Ed said it, or I leaned over when Ed was like, it's not the job, it's not the relation, all these things. I leaned over and was like, is he picking on me? Because like literally, I've tried and done all those things, accomplished, done all the, whatever it may be, and tried to make everything perfect, pigeonhole, little picket fence life. Great TV show from back in the day, by the way, Picket Fences.
Yes.
I digress. Tom Skerritt was in it. I'm so sorry, guys. That's where my brain's at all the time. Fireworks show up there. But when he was saying that, I think about the way I used to accomplish things, it was through a false joy, right? It was a joy that I produced for myself through drugs, alcohol, fake, whatever status I'd achieve, whatever it was to make me go out in public, be happy, and create growth for people. And I thought, man, I'm doing so great for my sphere of influence. Yeah. And now it's shifted to where, and then you would go home. There were certain days I'm sitting there just crumbled. I talked about on the Get Sober Story thing. You just go, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. Now the joy has shifted to me to where now I can see it when I impact people now. When I'm talking to people out now, the true joy is different than what the false joy was before. And I think people recognize it. And that's the beauty of the gift now, is going, I don't have it all together. I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying anymore. At the end of the day, things are going to work out the way they're going to work out, right? At the end of the day, there is no interruptions to God's plan.
Yeah.
I love that you said
that. Was good too. I
love
like
you
that.
Said,
that was great.
God's plan is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to work out, not in a Calvinist sense.
Yeah.
But we got to
try. Not preaching predestination. We are not doing that right now.
Yeah, we're going to again. It's a long story for another day. But the other one too. So these are the three things that Ed pointed to today. There are no interruptions to God's plan. There's wisdom in His timing.
That's good too.
That's so tough to deal with, though. As a person.
Yeah, because it's like I always say, man, man's pride is out of control.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And we want it the way we want it.
Yeah.
It causes a lot of people to run away with the prayer thing. Like you were saying, if I pray for something and it don't come true, or it don't happen the way I want it to happen, God must not have been listening to me, or He don't care about what I want, and now I'm just walking away and stuff like that. I think it takes a lot of maturity to get to that point, to understand that God works on His own timing. Mm-hmm. And even though, because people always throw the Bible verse out there, everything works together for the good of those who love the Lord and all that. Yeah. Do you really believe that?
Right.
Or are you just out there using Jesus as a genie in a bottle?
It's 100%. Yeah, it's 100%. What's his name? Genie in the bottle. There. It's. I'm trying to think of that actor's name. I was going to say something funny. I lost it now. From Aladdin. You know what I'm talking
about? Robert Williams.
Robert Williams.
Yes, sir. How you forget Robert Williams, man?
Man, he hadn't been around quite a while. You know what I mean?
Well,
he would have made a mistake. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, it's a game changer. No. Great guy though, but people treat it like a genie bottle. I think too, we treat verses. Were we talking about this earlier? Who was I talking to about this? It was literally today. Were we talking about this today?
Which one?
The pulling the verses out and using them for specific means.
Oh, that was my wife that you were talking to.
I knew I was having that conversation. See how my brain works? It's all over the place.
My wife's producing this show today, y'all.
Doing a fantastic job, mind you, to keep up with these shenanigans over here. But we were talking about it earlier. And it's like we want to pigeonhole our faith. We want to pigeonhole the wisdom we're supposed to seek in the same way we deliver independent little scripts. And she was actually talking about how you study top and bottom and the history of it and understanding where these things come from. And I've been bad about it too, man. Like you said, that all good things come to those, whatever. And God saying, Jesus telling us right after the Lord's Prayer, He literally tells you how to pray, and then He says, anything you ask for, you will receive it, right? Mm-hmm. And then we ignore that.
Yeah.
We ignore that because we go, well, I want $1 million, man.
Yeah.
But what is the benefit? What's the cost benefit analysis? I think that's the best way to look at it.
No, it's so selfish. Usually when we praying for things, it's out of a selfish intent.
100%.
And I think that, because we're selfish, human beings are selfish.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we.
Yeah.
I'm saying we. But human beings are selfish.
Yeah.
So people play in the lottery, and you sit up there praying like, "Oh Lord, I really need this, $1 billion." Well, how many other people you think is praying for that same thing?
100%.
So if you don't get it,
you
gonna be crushed about that, or oh Lord, I need this new job. If you don't get it,
Yeah.
But in that, what is it that you're supposed to be learning from the situation? Right. What are you supposed to be taking away from it? Right. And where's your patience at for what God is doing in your life?
Yeah.
And where's your faith in what He's doing for you?
Dude, I think health is one of the, when you talk about lottery, so that's an easy one. I think health is one of the hardest ones.
Oh yeah.
I think, and I look at things that have happened. I've had loss is a thing that we all deal with. We've all dealt with it a lot recently, actually. And when you look at things like that, that's where the toughest, I think, faith comes in. Is you go, why? How am I going to use this, God?
What is this? Why did this happen?
Why did this happen this way?
Because there's instances where there's just no logical explanation for the way that something happened.
Yeah.
But usually in those instances, and this is what I was saying earlier, usually in those instances, there's something that's coming down the road.
Yeah.
That is, man, you know what? Have you ever seen that movie Signs with Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
When his wife died.
Yeah.
All of those things that happened early in his life, with his child having asthma, with his daughter having asphyxiation for water and stuff like this, and the bat and everything.
Yeah.
He didn't understand throughout that entire movie he had walked away from God because he didn't see what it was. Come to find out, all of those things that happened to him earlier in his life ended up saving his family.
100%.
And that's how I see it now.
Yeah.
Whenever something goes down like that, you don't always understand in the moment why something is going so bad. But when it hits you, usually it comes around and you be like, oh. Yeah. Oh, and it takes some maturity in a lot of different areas before you can start getting hit like that in the stomach. Yeah. And you're gonna hit the ground on your knees, but you stand up. You say, all right, okay, I got this. Yeah. And once you get to that maturity level, then you can fight off that urge to walk away. And then you waiting to see what God's what's the word I'm looking for? Not revelation. Providence. Yeah. You're waiting to see God's providence throughout your hard times or whatever you're going through. I'm so glad I remembered that movie because that was
that's a great. Yeah.
I got the social commentary in that movie the first time I saw it. Yeah. And I was like, good job, Mel Gibson.
That's right. Yeah. I'm excited whether the Siege of Malta's coming out.
Yeah. I want to see it too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also, I think the selfish, you said we're all selfish. We're all inherently selfish. I think it's that we also want to rely on seeing the impact of change ourselves. Yeah. And how often may it be that the way we act or interact or react through our faith that people see, and it's like the people that reach out to me randomly. I don't know if you've had to reach out and go, I love what y'all are doing. And I'm going, I've never even would have imagined that you would be paying these. The gentleman that came one day to a Sunday lecture that we had, I was like, where, of all people? Yeah.
So that was strange.
But it's the point of that is like, and I truly appreciate it, but it's the point that like it's unexpected. And it's often, that's a hard one too, is to keep faith and go, I'm praying for something. Well, maybe it worked. Yeah. Maybe it did happen. Yeah. You just don't see the impact.
Yeah. And it might take a while before you actually see the impact.
It's the cashier that you see every week that you said something and then, it was on a Sunday and you come, I just came back from church. Well, I've been thinking about trying out church. Where do you go to? And then you don't even realize that they're trying something new. Maybe they're doing an adaptation to their life. Maybe something that you just don't know. And I think that's the hard one too, is that we always consciously, I think we want to see the fruits of our labor. Yeah. That's why people love money so much.
We had a pastor at one point in time that was talking about that, the importance of planting a seed. Yeah. You might not even see the plant grow. Yeah. Plant the seed though. Yeah. Because it's not your job to make the plant grow. You plant the seed, God is going to give it the increase, and that's how it's going to grow. Yeah. That's another thing about the pride. We want to be able to say, I'm the one that did that for this person. No, plant the seed. Yeah. Plant seeds all over the place. Yeah. And walk away.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm so glad you just mentioned pride too. Here's another beautiful thing. I have often been tempted, I think, at times to be so unprideful that I lost opportunities to share God's greatness.
I have to.
That's one thing that I did not realize until recently, and that epiphany just struck in my brain when you said that too. How many times that because I wasn't living the way that I was supposed to, because I wasn't in the faith like I was supposed to, because I didn't have concentration, focus on faith. I didn't have the Pastor said, information. I wasn't in a desperation mode to seek out Christ. How many things happened in my life that were great, that I didn't take the opportunity not to only just be thankful and say, thank you, God, for this. Thank you, God, for that. But when somebody goes, oh, that's amazing you've done that. Oh, no, it wasn't just me. You know what, dude? I am absolutely so blessed, not just because of the people around me and the opportunity, because God gave me the ability to see and create these things. Yeah. Giving that glory was something that, man, I should have done 1,000,000 times over by now. And I've never done it. That just hit me right, and I feel like a dum-dum about it. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, not the sucker, but yeah.
I used to have a friend of mine that used to say every time somebody would give her a compliment, she would say, "Don't thank me, thank the man that made me."
100%. Yeah.
And I was like, "That's cool."
It's so true, though, man.
It's true. Yeah. It's very true.
And I used to think it was hokey when people get up there and they Grammy Award. Well, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God, Peter, for the executive producer, like whatever. Of course, you're gonna say thank God for. I used to think it was kind of hokey. It's so much. It's so funny too. The more things that I've gotten out of my system of thinking, oh, that's just kind of goofy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, it's not, dude.
It's not really.
Yeah.
It's not really.
The more you dive in, and what's the most important thing? Scripture alone. The more you dive into this and see the connections of Christ from the Old Testament throughout the New Testament, and how it all leads to Him, that creates the ultimate faith in Christ. When you read the Word is when you start discovering how it all makes sense, how it all aligns. And I didn't understand how the Old Testament made sense with the New Testament. And then when you start reading the Old Testament with new eyes and you start studying the Bible and you're going, why did He carry that wood up there on that hill?
Yeah.
Why that hill? Like you start really digging into and if that's the other thing, I'll tell you folks, if y'all don't realize this, I heard Josh Howerton is a famous guy. He's a great pastor. Lake Point, something in Texas. He said, you should read this constantly thinking about Jesus.
Throughout the Old Testament, New Testament,
everything. Because everything, and even if you understand the history of it, points to, that's the whole point of the Messianic prophecy and all that is what the Torah was written on.
Yeah.
It all points to Jesus, and every little thing points to Jesus.
It's so amazing when He came back, when Christ came back after He was crucified, for the time that He spent, the 40 days that He spent.
Yeah.
In Acts, I believe it is, and He was saying that He was with them, and He began to tell them about all of the old prophets and how they spoke of Him.
Yeah.
So He went back and had to explain the Old Testament to His disciples.
Yeah.
And explain to them how all of the prophets and everything, Moses and everything like that, was a foreshadowing of Him.
100%.
We sit in a different time now. They didn't have the New Testament back then. All they had was the Old Testament.
Right.
We sit in a time where we can actually sit them side by side with each other.
Yeah.
And look at it. And that's another thing. Like you said, people don't put enough emphasis in reading. It took me a long time to actually start going through the Old Testament.
Yeah.
I was a New Testament guy when I first became a young Christian.
Yeah.
But like you said, the older you get and the more mature you get in your walk, you start going back and you start, now we can connect that. Now we can look back and we can see the story like you were saying about, I caught the Isaac reference.
Yeah.
With them carrying the wood up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was, so now we can make those connections. Now we can make the Melchizedek connections and things
100%.
of that nature. You know, they didn't have that to make, you know. So that's why I find reading our scripture is so good now, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem stressful. There used to be, I don't feel like reading this right now. But, Oh, God.
There's this chapter, all these names in it again.
Yeah,
exactly.
like Deuteronomy and Numbers and
oh
stuff.
my God.
But now, it's even with numbers, even though it's still.
Fascinating.
It's still. Still.
It can be arduous.
Yes.
But it is
it's
fascinating.
some nuggets in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's some nuggets in there.
Yeah.
Man. It's awesome.
Well, Genesis used to be my least favorite book.
Really?
And now it's one of my most favorite books.
Oh, man.
Because of all the things that line up, right?
Yeah.
It's literally the beginning of why it matters, man.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating. When you look at Judah and how that his screw up basically is what led to the lineage of Christ, and following the lineage of Christ, we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
And how it's so fascinating. But again, that just entrenches further in the information piece. He talked about how does faith work? And I wrote, what faith do I actually have? What do I touch? Would I touch the cloak? Is what I wrote here from today. But the information piece, he said, desperation, information, seeking out the right information the right way. That's so important, man. That's how you build your faith. And I think we just encourage everybody to try and figure that out.
Yeah.
You know
Get in the Word. Get in your Word. Build your faith.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, getting in the Word and actually reading it for yourself and getting an understanding of it, that'll help you build your faith up.
100%. And it's the same, we talked about it earlier, the other day, it's the same as prayer, right? God is the Word, Jesus is the Word, was the Word. And that's the other thing, is you get closer every time you read it. You're praying every time you read it. And the nuggets that you find. And to me, it's the math stuff. I'm not a math guy, which is so strange. I hate math.
I went to school for math.
I hate math. But what I love about it, the Bible is the math.
Yeah.
Is doing the numbers there. It's crazy. But if you ever question having faith, it's the things that the stories you read. Talk about Acts, and I'll leave it with this: having faith. There was it was not Corinth. It was one of the heavily pagan towns that was heavy in sorcery and witchcraft. Is it Ephesians?
I think it might have been Ephesians.
They take all the
Ephesus.
scrolls.
I said Ephesians.
The
like
city
the
of
book,
Ephesus, yeah.
Ephesus.
They take all the, it's the book of Ephesians though. There you go.
Yeah.
They take all the scrolls and they in the city, in one day they have a burning ceremony of all the scrolls in honor of becoming newly Christian. And they tell you how much of a day's wage, and then I did the math on a year's wage, and I took and I compounded it to what today's average wages are. Like I did all the math in it. It's all in the margin of this.
You did the math.
It's all in the margin of this Bible. Yeah, it's written, scribbled in the Bible there. And I know it by heart because I find it so fascinating. It was $8.9 million in today's dollars worth of books. Do you know how much literature $8.9 million of today's value would buy you? That's the downtown library.
Yeah.
Like that is a lot of money. And to think that was all burned in a very short period of time, and it was by people who newly came to faith because of the things that they were taught, that they saw, that enriched and entrenched them in that, to do that. They burned their most prideful possessions. Those things were not expensive. I think handwritten scrolls, like we think of books today and they're expensive because they're printed. You know, a Bible you can get anywhere from $35 to $85.
Yeah.
Right? That's back then, you know, if you compound that out, it's probably thousands of dollars because of the sheer just
time that was spent,
time and effort,
and everything,
artisanry, if you will. But when you think about that, again, we just want to talk about faith today. I think we did a pretty good job hammering that down. And
we jumped around a little bit, but you know, we
just
got
a skosh.
there. We got there.
Just a skosh. But the good news is God loves you. We love you, maybe. Depends on which. Depends what area of my life you're from. I'm kidding. At the end of the day, we want to see you guys in eternity. See you soon. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. I'm loving it.